I started my business, it's called X-cellerate Athetics Coaching. I coach athletes or children aged from about 8 to 18, group sessions, one-on-ones, and also do school coaching as well. The type of kids that are in my program, kids that don't, have the opportunity to get the coaching that they would in smaller towns, being out here in central New South Wales. There's still a lot of racism in smaller country towns, which young Indigenous people have to face, which I faced myself when I was growing up, and that stays with you for life. It's something that you don't forget. It still churns inside of me, still today, and a lot of people don't understand that. People say that was 20 or 30 years ago now, but it's with you forever. Yeah, I went through some bad times, through drinking and just not being the person that I wanted to be. I didn't want my children going down that track. I just didn't want them growing up seeing that life. So no drinking for 5 years now. I've definitely given them a better start than they would have had, if I continued down the track that I was going. And there's probably, look, I'm 90% sure there was probably even a chance that I wouldn't be here today. There's some dark days there in some places in hospitals and that I was very lucky man. Whew. I'd like to think they're proud of their dad. You got me there. That's a tough question because, as you can see, it's been 5 years, but it's still very emotional, and raw. So, as long as I'm a good role model, and keep turning up each day and being a dad, I'm sure they're going to love me. Without many rivers, I wouldn't have my business because they'd given me my first small micro loan, which allowed me to purchase some athletics equipment to go out and start. Tim was a big help actually. We sort of hit it off straight away. We shared a couple of personal stories which I think really helped understand who Tim was and who I was. Tim was there to help with the financial, the costings, when he's talking about profit and loss and cash flows, and it was just all over my head. I had no idea, but Tim worked through it with me. He was always there. If I didn't understand something, which was most of the times, I would contact him. My business is unique, and I was told, never to change that. It's more than just coaching. You have to know when kids are on and when they're off. Kids are actually performing better off the track, which is most rewarding for me. The medals are just a bonus. When parents email me or phone and tell me that their kids are now eating better, sleeping better, are going to school and concentrating for longer, and are now topping classes and things like that, that's why I do it. If you make it about, about the children, about caring for them, their holistic approach, then, I'll always have something unique and special, which I think I have.